This video takes the place of the perfect storm, the incomprehensible one that was formed earlier and was deleted.
Associated phenomenon.
This one more accurately fits my life.
Which the very recipe of these over an abundant amount of danger and trauma, which renders the surface area quite distinct from any depth one may encounter. And that's a big if you can and decide that's the way to go. Now, if you decide that's the way to go, that means you're taking it as it comes in its own strong area.
Like if you're going to dive into the ocean, that pressure is going to start mounting against you. You can omit that fact, and the same would occur as everywhere else in life. This is going to be continuing to be an adjustment, of course, by 90 degrees. Nothing that I can do about it. Why? Because actual movement that I'm having to make in every single case is a realm of very vain superficiality, mostly contextually valid for all humans to communicate. Then, my personal journey with that individuated portion of existing begins its terms of service, or its own communication between myself, what I know, and what schooling I'm going to get. It becomes a this and that, and then a dive into it in every single case. Are you certain this is? Yes, I am. Because of the way the phenomenon presents itself back together in the world where we're very vain is our reference to anything here. If we can see it, likely to talk about it, misunderstand it, misrepresent it, yeah, it holds pretty, that's pretty standard. So, listen in the background, somewhere in here, the screeching breaks because of a wreck that you're in, but not, as you know. If you were to have the time-stopping 360 awareness that occurs like in the time of an actual wreck, you'll notice that time slows down and you can interact with the details inside of the phenomenon as you choose. But now other things like the outside environment, things that are in that outside environment, and those aren't something that you're assisted by having this gained perspective, just because it's not the appropriate area to be trying to interact. Sure, you may want to eject from the vehicle and be in that place to interact, but you're not. For the time being, you need to consider yourself confined and inside this area, and let the opened upness of it be where you don't fucking waste your advantage, which is where you are in a point of advantageous sudden awareness of something that's usually so fleetingly fast and not even noticed. This is not the case with you. In fact, you need to notice it, make use of it, and try to start see if it's possible to use excess portions from each place gone through in the class form, if there's any way to use that to break into the final level in a whole other way. Maybe we can hit the balls upside the head with it or something. Whatever it is, recycling. People have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. And you've been saying that you weren't going to go so crazy anymore. Yeah, this is true. So, I feel it though, like this next area and the clear ability to see the area one from the next. Maybe I should point it out so that others can see. So, it wasn't like there was a real selection or options. The way it is sort of was going to be the way it is, whether or not I recognized and bought into this choice or not. And that just because I'm experiencing the difficulties I didn't expect, by no means is me giving up at all. Because actually there's still mechanisms to pull the shit into the type of order that I would prefer, which would allow me to stay as where I am and not have to concede and obey the I want to fucking get the fuck out of here feeling. Which has not been here at any time since I've lived here, so that's pretty fucking clear already. I wasn't trying to do something like that in this place. I've not been trying to stabilize in any way like I actually kind of did. And the psycho-spiritual energy form of interacting has actually also been brought into a form that allows me to leave. You could go right now if I wanted to. Yeah, true. Whereas there would be a few things to get into that position if I was hastily pressed in that direction, which is not where the actual pressure and stress is being generated. It's not coming from areas that are... see, this is why I'm trying to get from each place where I see there is some ability to move and check shit out. Like one, I'm not mad at the guy, my friend, and I'm still friend. I'm just saying what I'm getting in an experience is so contrary to anything I'd have been prepared for. Because number one, the delivery of the form where I begin to feel like I made a bad fucking choice in with this person, and I can openly discuss that reality from where it is, where I'm at, has already been breached. And, I'm still correct to say that if someone helps me out or does me an assist, like the one that is like open the home and come on in, I wouldn't be it's easy to feel like it's a mistake that's been now made in my favor, and probably just as comfortable in picking it up and processing me out as the world would be. So I don't need to personalize that form of opposition. What would be the point in that? There really wouldn't be a point. Now, I have a lot of dis-ease and discomfort in the energy that primarily has moved and stretched itself out like old people do in the bathtub, which is appropriate because it is old person. The bathtub would be the person. It's like there's a whole lot of probably dude's mom that becomes Debbie, perhaps. I could speculate using just what psychology gives us as tools, but it would sound like I'm clowning and I don't really want to forge direction in that direction. But as I've used my words in a less than wise way most of my chatting ass life, that may be the only way that there is to get out some of the fucking dirt from that fucking cave that's caving in. Perhaps, I don't know. It might be a case of using words cleverly and humorously to create the situations of levity and awareness that currently do not abide. They do not. There's non-communication ability. Because as I am, like, by instinct and gut, pushed away from the person, and I don't have a reason for that, I'm just aware of it. The lady I don't feel comfortable emanating from her, and I wish to shield myself like it's radiation. I don't know why that is. There's more than one person in reality that occurs with, but I don't fucking go on the witch hunt for the reason to solve it like it's my problem. I'm simply aware. So I have to say, what then are my options with that? It could be something really bad. Now, if I want to diagnose it, so I don't have to get in some sort of weird steps in my awareness of it, and I want to be able to freely move, dance even, in this here dance hall area of my home. So the only current ways I know is to put it under the microscope like that. My reasons are as follows. Due to my own personal connection with what is above, extant, amazing and great, what is a necessity to my systems functioning, which has been also a little bit bruised by the non-handling of their being, or maybe the non-being of their non-being. I'm not entirely sure. I might be able to be playing a more helpful role in my expanse quest with my helpfulness, which I have tried to do by actively trying to bring forth healing for areas known to be afflicted. This lady's case, it's specifically the foot. There's been, like there always is in these cases where I'm having a similar experience, there's something that makes me aware of that early on, where we were having a similar experience of being damaged in the foot. It was a very apparent theme when it began, because I've been aware of it for a long time. You know, and it's developed and not been a real victory for the person that has it as their problem and toes. I'm definitely sympathetic to all forms of healing that can be available. Part of me almost has to win the rights to be able to freely do that without interference. And I'm aware of that weirdness in me. You're not supposed to violate anyone's sovereignty by healing them or praying on their behalf. I'm aware of that dynamic. And that dynamic has a definite fucking tension, pressure, exertion on me. Because, hey, this is where it's at. Hey. So the point of the video is what? See, I kind of made a joke because I was watching one of these. I watched a little bit of Sheridan's video, and he was talking shit out of the side of his mouth about, you know, humorous things that he's not really able to speak on like comedians are wont to do. And his I'm a Black Lady humor began to cause me laughter, whereas I had an arising of it too. Now, did it just upgrade it into a form of a storm? Yeah. It'd be a real crazy ass fucking video if I should choose to include it and didn't delete it. But I think I deleted it. But it was turning into a fucking storm that had the alarms, and the alarms playing in the background are basically telling you that, you know, if you're hearing this alarm, where are you going to go? The storm has your social security card. It knows your address. It physically transforms into a person who whoops your ass. You know, this is a different type of storm that we're going to be dealing with. Should things go this wrong course, which they are. They're being taken. Everything weapons. So, in the smaller versions, where I've noticed myself to be having way more than necessary stress levels, I'm not able to successfully seek and acquire the job needed, which I've got to have one, period. It's not like I've not yielded to it. I'm just going to not have a job. What are you, fucking nuts? No, not at all. And I'm having a difficult time yielding to not still looking for one that I can do on my phone. I'm just, as of yesterday, aware of a small area in the fine print I can press and bypass the check box that normally would be all I see, and resulted in a hell of a lot more physical phone calls and conversations that are being tried to be had by people clearly at their job. So at least they were making money out of it. I am not. Which drastically changes the dynamic of the whole fucking thing. That, with the stress modifying, you know, because I got to calm down and breathe, and then enter into that place to fucking seize what I need to seize, which is, again, possible. But as now I'm finding the only stress to alleviate for any periods of time is in the time like now, which, thank the good Lord for giving it to me and just not saying anything, so I could waste most of it thinking I was hearing somebody pull up and having to look. But why? Normal paranoia associated with the life. Not anything necessarily wrong or needing to be. You could ask the same, why are you so armed? 2 guns again? Yeah, now I'm 2 pistol Pete packing. passionately packing 2 pistols and such. Yeah, and I know the extra danger is likely to be danger of my physical own self if I'm not extremely careful, which can occur in the state of not fucking calm that exists most of the time that I'm having to dwell with other person, whose vessel becomes the whole dwelling and interaction with them, open and free and clear, to be had and not aware of. For me, no matter where I go in the home, I can hear the conversation if it's going on. I thought maybe my hearing was getting a little too good a couple times, and now I'm just left wondering, is it a phone thing? Are they on speaker? It didn't sound like it's a speakerphone conversation type shit. I don't think it's that either. I don't know. But from somebody who tries not to listen or expose myself to other people's shit, at least in any way that I can, it doesn't bother me except for the fact that it's every single conversation could be all running through Mike. I don't want to experience it, you know? And on my options list, there's not really one that I can fucking, hey, can you make that not possible? That's almost breaking the rules. And how do you know that? Why do you feel that way? Why do I feel and accept the terms, and now I'm bound to those terms? That's the question. Because that's what I'm trying to remedy from the future experiences. It's just in a small pickle. Am I though? I mean, I also feel a very strong power and blessedness in the fact that the things that I'm needing to receive, like unity, is not only on track and coming together, like I am making a single use of 2 complete different individuals from the point of origin, a birthday, which when I thought, I wonder if everybody can be reduced to the birthday and just interchangeable. Well, maybe not for everyone, but it's looking like it may be a thing with me that can be done. Is it something that you want to do? You know, I think if it arises, it's something I want to do or attempt. I don't have to bother nobody with it. Do I? Or is this me bothering somebody with it? Me saying it is the case? I mean, but isn't that a sign that one can take from the upstairs as a thumbs up that, hey, you requested and you have received something great and way bigger of a package than you'd have been able to validate was being mailed? It seems to be the case. It's obviously we have a lot more power. Clearly, most of mine's being dissipated and bled out from areas of blind speaking and moving through that are already fucking finalizing themselves. So what are you bitching about? What I'm bitching about is just these new conditions, which I find myself now the ones squeezing me. And I feel squeezed. I feel squeezed by the awareness of having to entertain something it's not able to unify in its own accord in such a way as that would be useful. But it can't. I can say that they have the same birthday and all that will only affect me. It's not a two-way street. Why? I think maybe if we don't believe in anything significantly in, the way that believers do, that affects a bigger fucking spot in our life than we could realize. Were that not the case, the lady wouldn't be able to call Honey Bear and schedule in, I'd be able to accept the charges and hear all the fucking shit. Would you just go outside or something? Do I really think I can escape like that? No, that's part of the problem. The over-awareness is not able to fucking have a broader than just me usefulness. I want the other person to be able to get some of the value in that. It doesn't matter what I want in that case, because that's outside of my scope of work. It doesn't seem possible. But you're attempting something to the sort. I am, and I am going to continue that, because that's the way that I know to go. And, I don't know, it's just disturbing me finding that these things that I've known for so long are the case, and just in case, they're happening. I'm experiencing it. I'm not having an experience of defeat in any sort of way. I'm actually having a sovereignty rolling out of the self that I'm hopefully going to be proud of before this day is said and done. And I invited Brother Hugo to maybe come and play guitar if he's free and wants to, because that wasn't a bad idea. And other signs. See, there's some relationship dynamics between Bear and Richard, whereas he's trying to do a simple, mundane, sell something, but his number value he's trying to obtain is the same one that I have to obtain in my also selling stuff and such. So I tried to push the skin out in that area, and there was enough skin and reality there to be back and forth with the conversation. Like, I understand I'm not going to fucking come at you with no fucking weird form of money that's not trustable, or give the list and fucking handling procedures for the weaponry transfer, which is not appropriate. You got the manual to this? No, I don't. You can't get the manual anymore. It's just called deadly weapon or deadly force, used by one person, held in hands. But I did, because not only did I pull the brakes and attempt to go with the person that appeared in my yard, which is how I see things sinking correctly back up. He did come to dump some of his gray water, which he has to do, and I saw my mind it occur, and when I physically saw him on the second leg, he didn't ask me to do it the second time. I told him yes. And that's the area that I wonder if I need to look at and clean off, because he sort of hit me with some bad fucking personal fucking handling of business and word shit, where he was going to pay me later some money that he owed me then, and I didn't get the good feeling that I should be allowing it to be that much freedom. Because I had more shit to do on that day than I did walk around and help him find one fucking lazy man part of a multitude choice in my whole yard. Oh yeah, just look over all of them. eyeball fuck my shit when it's actually the tractor would have been less sentimental and more of a value per the understanding as I received it. That would be the number one thing to fucking knock out. And Bear just experienced a little difficulty and then just moved away from it every step further away and not even attempting to fucking connect it. It doesn't seem like it's even possible. Not that he couldn't do it before, or he bullshitted somebody, whatever the terms are, weren't even in any way, shape made with me. And if I'd like to think, some people would be like, hey, this is your friend's son. Would you do another friend's son the way that the capabilities are arriving? Well, it looks like that's not an issue either. No, most of the hope and extra higher vibrational, emotional chargings that would just probably occur seamlessly and without needing to point them out, they got fucking taken out by the submarine. The submarine came in the form of a gift. It was a mock Pandora's box, where it could be given to me, and who actually gets Pandora's box? Epimetheus comes with Pandora, so he's supposed to get this woman as a present, and it's all Trojan horse. Might as well be, you know. One little insight was all I was trying to share, and when it was relevant with a dude. His response was no, and his mechanism and belief set must be backed by old lady. Whatever judgment she could put on me as crackhead will just be crackhead in every case. He won't be rude or nothing to me. He can just hand me the wondrous gift and they can laugh about it. While he discloses every bit of my personal life to someone that I don't authorize it to, because it's already occurred. From my perspective, I see the lady can just see through his eyes just as easy as he can. Isn't that some type of witchcraft? But if it's not witchcraft, what form of social dysfunction would it next fit? Parent-child relationship? Decay in national morale? Would you like to pick D? No answer is there. I don't know. You know, years ago we went and did something where I went to help, and in that trip was a lot of what has been foreshadowed and is now being experienced. Because the cops were heralding the beginning of the gang stalking process as it is here, and it is. It's here. And the who's currently not working list, at what point in time they wish to review my status, and it would be something upon however much child support I owe, which is a lot and not subject to change. I might can pay an amount and push back the amount of time it is before they attempt to alter my life by putting me in jail, which if I continue to pay, and it's now just difficult to actually pay because the form of payment and the way of sending it is reverted back to money order and to San Antonio. So I wish I could express how it felt like I was the one on trial when I watched this. Our state's attorney general is being impeached. We're having a micro Trump-like event with that guy. And I'm sure all politicians are bad and they all do shit that we wouldn't think they should be doing. And that's a heavy feeling that way if that's the way it is, you know, because I probably likely would have a lot of benefits and shit if I was to get in that business myself. No telling what kind of perks and shit I would accept. I'm not too happy normal. It's subject to the corruption in its timeliness, whatever would be the proper style. I would feel imbalanced, and definitely I would feel like if you elected me again, you've okayed me, right? So I'm hearing a lot of the same language, which could fit my situation where it, you know, scalable up, which in a way it is, and it does translate, and I do identify as. So I do react and cultivate the workable areas and virtues as they then become available. Which I've still got a lot of problems in my daily life, and I'm not directly seeking the enlightenment that just has me bliss the fuck out forever after that point, or I just fucking cast off my humanity and go ahead and leave, dropping my body where it's at. I'm certain that not only are those things possible, that they're within capabilities for a person or a soul with the amount of experience in the muck that I'm in. Not even impossible. Should that be something I might consider? I have not put it off the table. That's where it is. The strange merging of unity is occurring all around me, but just as such. You know, the discomfort level is going to continue to rise and just be like a glaring headache. Possibility of tuner is minor. Tuner. And this is your video. The fact that it let me talk and it didn't shut me off by the time, I guess so. So anyone that can comprehend what is actually trying to be spoken to, I take advice from those who can give it. Help. And thank you. May your day go much better.